So I'm falling in love with the game of football, right? I love it. Love everything about it. The teamwork, the camaraderie, the work, the offense, the defense, special teams. Doing everything I possibly can to play this game for as long as I possibly can. To climb that mountaintop. Now, I'm always a visionary guy, right? I can see the mountaintop. I can see it, I can believe it, and then it's like, I'm gonna go work as hard as I possibly can to achieve it, right? That's in me. I was born with that. But along the way, on that journey, on that climb up that mountain, there's a lot of hard things that happen. There's a lot of things that you gotta face head on. Adversity, problems, overcoming it, and I can't do that alone. I need that support. It always looked a little bit different, right? You saw my parents, they don't look like me. I passed them up in height when I was about 12 years old. It was no secret that I was adopted. But I knew in my heart that I needed that team. I needed that support to be the best version of myself. I knew that at a very young age. So for all the kids here that are going through, and your family situation looks a little bit different than everybody else, that's your superpower. State records, scores, touchdowns, all of that. And I'm looking to get my first ever scholarship offer to the University of Wisconsin. And they told me, you're not tall enough. You can't throw the ball far enough. I said, that's okay. I'll do whatever it takes. Offer me as an athlete. I'll just figure it out. So I get this scholarship offer. I go to the University of Wisconsin, and now I'm kind of on my own again. I go off at 18 years old, and I got to blaze my own trail. That support system looks a whole heck of a lot different. I switched from playing quarterback my whole life to the coaches saying, maybe you should try linebacker, play some defense. So I did that to the very best of my ability. Tried to play ball as best I can. Just get me on the field, coach. Let me play. I just want to be out there with the guys. Eventually, all the running backs get hurt. They're like, Alec, you just ran for 2,700 yards as a senior in high school. You think you could do that for us at the University of Wisconsin? I said, coach, please give me the ball. Let's go. I'll play running back. I'll do whatever it takes. I switched to running back. I scored 9 touchdowns as a true freshman at the University of Wisconsin. I led the team. As a part of that team, I found my role. I found my way onto the football field. But then, all those running backs got healthy the very next year. So now coach sits me down. He says, what do you think about playing fullback? It's like, well, I kind of want to touch the ball still. Like I go from quarterback to linebacker, running back. Now you want me to move again? He said, Alec, I think you can make a career in this. I think you can make a living in this. A guy that I've worked with for only a couple years, doesn't look like me, doesn't talk like me, doesn't have the same background as me. I said, I trust you. I believe in you. I'll be willing to move to this football spot. You see a vision for me, I'm gonna go make it happen. There's a new mountaintop, there's a new goal, but that's okay, we can work together because I'm not alone. My sophomore year, I'm splitting time, I'm doing my thing, I'm playing ball, making plays for the University of Wisconsin. And my junior year, I get benched. There's a senior that was a little bit more dedicated, focused in a little bit harder. I was going through some things, man. I'm 21 years old, trying to figure out my way. I feel like I'm away from my parents and my family. I'm losing my mind a little bit, losing my focus, and I get benched. And I'm sitting down there like, how did this happen? My entire life, it's always been achievement after achievement, success after success. And this is the first time in my life at 21 years old where I'm taking a step backwards. Like something's wrong with me. All of a sudden I'm starting to feel like, am I not good enough? Are people gonna accept me? Are they gonna abandon me? Is my scholarship gonna go away? I start freaking out. And eventually there's a man that comes into my life. His name's Steve. He's the FCA director at the University of Wisconsin. And he sat me down one day at Camp Randall Stadium in the bleachers, empty stadium. We're just looking out at the field. Another guy that doesn't look like me, doesn't talk like me, doesn't have the same background as me. He said, Alec, if you were the starting fullback tomorrow, would you be ready? Are you doing all of the things that you should be doing to be able to make that happen? So you're an accountable teammate, so people can trust you. Do you trust yourself? And then he held a mirror in front of my face. He said, tell it to yourself, yes or no. I couldn't lie to myself in that moment. I said, Steve, I'm not ready. I need to go back to class. I need to focus in on just controlling what I can control. The circumstances around me are moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour. I need to go back to the basics. I need to control what I can control. I need to work on my work ethic. I need to be an accountable human being. I want to make sure that I can trust myself and believe in myself so that then other people can trust and believe in me. So we start doing this work. Another guy that doesn't look like me says, you know what, Alec? We've only been talking for a little bit here. I want to let you know that I love you. I care about you. It does not matter how many stats you rack up, how many touchdowns you score. I will always love and support you. Now, as an adopted kid, that is like, whew, that's real. That's what I needed in that moment. And I was able to say, you know what? Someone's going to be here for me. so I can go back, I can try, I can control what I can. I'm gonna work extremely hard knowing the results don't matter. It's the process, it's the human being. It's the type of person that I'm trying to become day after day after day. 2 weeks go by and the starting fullback gets hurt. Alec, it's your turn to go in. University of Illinois, are you ready? We're on the road and we're kind of on the ropes. We need you. Scored 2 touchdowns against the University of Illinois, right off the bench, ready to go. Very next week, University of Indiana, starter still hurt, 3 touchdowns, 1 game for a fullback. Man, the results showed up just like that. But it wouldn't have happened without that conversation from a man that doesn't look like me, doesn't talk like me, doesn't have the same background as me, and saying that I love you, and being able to receive that support. So those 5 touchdowns in 2 weeks as a junior might not seem like too much, but that helped me go into this senior year knowing that I could make something of myself, knowing and believing that there's a mountaintop out there. I'm at point A, right at the bottom of this thing, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to climb it.